Welcome to the road to $1 million in cryptocurrency investing, where I'm going to be documenting my journey over the next 300 days to see if it's possible to hit that magic number. Now, if you're new here, my name is Ash. I'm an entrepreneur and I believe in financial education because that is the only way that you and I are going to build financial independence. So like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and join me on this journey. This is day 2. Let's begin. All right, so we are in the spreadsheet, and just like you saw yesterday, this is the total earnings to date. And we said that after expenses, we are going to be starting out with this. Now, there was a little bit of an uptick in the market over the last 24 hours, so I adjusted the value of the crypto that I currently hold against that. So right now you could say that our starting point is around $2,400. Again, that was a really nice uptick. If you remember yesterday, we said that that value is around $1,400 because of the drop in the market. Regardless, however, you could say that we're starting out with between $1,400 and $2,400 in this investment. So what actually, for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, what is my investment and why do I have these crazy numbers here? Well, the first thing is that my income here is split into a few categories. The first is mining revenue. Now, if you don't know, like I said yesterday, I am a miner. I'm a cryptocurrency miner. I have started mining about 6 months ago. And so far, we've already broken even on all our equipment, both on Ethereum and Bitcoin. And so right now, you could say that after breaking even, we're starting with about $2,400 in profit that we've just reinvested back into the second category, which I'm really quite excited about. That is Fishswap. And so Fishswap makes up the second category here. You could call this decentralized finance, specifically proof of stake. And then finally, our third part of the portfolio here, which I actually need to adjust to match the new prices, is our main portfolio where I hold a number of other cryptocurrencies for diversification. All right, and so the whole purpose here is just to show you every single day how this is increasing and compounding over time to hopefully get us to that $1 million level. Right now it's looking pretty low, but let's see what that looks like. So the first thing here is that on my spreadsheet, I track every single day what I mine, and I write down the value. So you can see here for the 24th, in other words, the last 24 hours, I have earned about $17 mining Bitcoin. So this first row here, you could say this first section above here, the white section, that's all Bitcoin mining. And then the second section here is all Ethereum mining. So over the last 24 hours, the price of ETH did go up, but that also means that transaction volume kind of slowed. And if you know anything about mining Ethereum, you'll know that a lot of our revenue comes from the fees, the gas fees. So because there weren't that many transactions yesterday, over the last 24 hours, that price came down a little bit. But regardless, we have an average earnings of about $11 on Bitcoin and about $79 so far, including what we've earned today on Ethereum. Okay, so that is mining, and this is something I'm actually quite interested in, and I think this is actually got the potential to take us to that $1 million level, and this is Fishswap. So for the last 24 hours, you can see that I earned 725 fish tokens. So if you're new to this whole concept, this whole process, this is sort of like mining 2.0. And essentially, this is a way for you to buy cryptocurrency and stake it. In other words, invest it in something called a liquidity pool, and you get to earn some interest. So because my particular stake is fairly sizable. You could say that earns me about $100 a day. But the best part about this is that it compounds over time. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to harvest this, which basically is another way of saying I'm going to take it into my wallet, and then I'm going to reinvest it back into the pool. So in order to do that, I'm going to first head over to the farm section. By the way, everything I'm showing you is not financial advice. This is just a way for me to document my process as well as to teach you in case you're interested in this. But please consider this a very high risk type of investment, and please do your own research if this is something you're interested in. Also, in case you want to track your investments, you can get this template in the description below. I'll have a link to that in case you want to use it to track your own investments. But anyway, so how do I harvest? How do I actually reinvest what I make? So assume I'm making $100 a day on fish. How do I reinvest that? So I'm going to use this harvest button here, and when I click it, it's going to ask me to pay something called a gas fee. When I do that, I will then take this and put it into the wallet. So as you can see, it's withdrawn that amount. It's now in my Binance Smart Chain wallet, which is right there. And then I'm going to do the same thing in the pool section. So I'm going to click on the harvest button here. Again, pay the gas fee. This is always in BNB. So if you do plan on investing in anything on the Binance Smart Chain, you can do so, but make sure you've got some BNB to cover transaction costs. So I've now withdrawn that amount, and it's gone back into my wallet. So there it is right there. It's pretty instant, pretty fast, and it's also quite cheap. So the whole idea of reinvesting is to earn something called compounding interest. So here's the current interest rate. I'll try to make this a little bit bigger so you can see this. Currently, our interest rate is set at 1,628%. Now, if you know anything about traditional investing, you'll know that this is actually really, really, really high. This is actually unheard of. In most traditional investing vehicles like stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, that sort of thing, you're going to most likely earn anything around 10% or less. Most of the time less after fees, but this is actually quite high. Now, the reason why this is high is because this particular platform is an automated market maker. In other words, people like you and I provide liquidity, and we basically power all transactions on the platform by providing that liquidity. In exchange for our risk, you could say, in exchange for our investment, we get paid a high interest rate. However, the more people that do invest in the liquidity pool, the lower the interest rate gets. So it's not fixed. That's something to keep in mind. All right, right now this particular pool has about $1.5 million. And if, for example, that doubled, this particular interest rate would go down a little bit. Regardless, we're earning right now about 4.46%. So what I'll do now is I'll just click on the plus button here, and I'll choose max, which is about 732 fish, and I'll choose confirm. Again, pay the gas fee. So this is the third gas fee. That's 0.00045 BNB, which should be roughly around 20 cents US. Once it confirms on the chain, you'll see it added here, and there's my fish. So now I have 16,000 fish invested in the pool. So let me just quickly show you some math so that you can see where all this madness comes from, in case you are very, very skeptical, which, by the way, you should be skeptical if you are investing in cryptocurrency. You should always do your homework, okay? Always. Please don't make decisions, financial decisions, based on any advice from people, okay? Please always do your own research, okay? So let me just show you here. If I invested $2,000, which is roughly what I have right now in the pool, at an interest rate of around 4%. Let's say for conservative purposes, let's make that 3% instead of 4%. And let's say we want to compound this daily, and that is a daily rate. So 3% on $2,000 every day for 1 year. By the way, if you need access to this calculator, I'll leave it in the description below. It's free. You can find it on Google. When I click calculate here, you'll see what a crazy, crazy number this is. Now, this is just math. And let me walk you through this craziness so you can actually see how it works. So your principal investment, in other words, your original amount that you put in, that's the first column. So that's day 0 all the way up to day 30. Okay, so this number 1 here represents the end of month 1, which is day 30. So after 30 days, you're basically turning that investment into double the amount, roughly. So as you can see, every 30 days, if you reinvest every single day, and that's basically a way of saying compounding your investment. If you reinvest what you make every single day back into the pool, you should end up with this amount after 30 days. After 60 days, you'll end up with about 6 times your original investment. That's because you're taking what you're earning every day and you're reinvesting it back into the pool. Okay, so we basically are projected, I don't know if this is actually going to work, we're projected to hit $1 million just with this calculation by month 7, which means 7 months from now is roughly around December, maybe early January, give or take. So it's kind of crazy, but that's what the calculator says, okay? This could totally fail, and that's just a disclaimer that I want to make. This could completely and totally fail, and I could make a complete fool of myself, and I could lose all of this money. So please understand that this is a very, very high risk vehicle, okay? With that, however, I'm going to basically just look at my investment one more time. And as you can see, about 16,600 fish in the pool. If I click on home, it tells me how much money I've earned. So after reinvesting that a few minutes ago, I've already earned about 29 cents US. The price of each token is down here on the bottom left side. So you're able to track that. Okay, so about 31 cents now. And so every 24 hours, I'm going to add that new amount that I've minted in this column. So on the 25th, which is basically today, after 24 hours, I'll add that amount here, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's basically my investment. Again, if you want access to this, you'll find a link to it in the description. I'll probably remove my data so you can just put in your own data if you do want to use my spreadsheet. Okay, the link will be in the description below. Also, guys, if you are new and you have not seen me on any social media platform before, I will have links to my other social platforms in the chat, in the description section. So you'll be able to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, that sort of thing. All right, let's head over to the chat and see what people are saying. All right. All right, so somebody says, hi, sir. Okay, I think these might be some of my students, so I really appreciate you joining today. Thank you so much for hanging out. Khaled says, hello, I wanted to ask what apps or websites do you use to invest in the UAE? So I personally don't use any UAE-based apps or websites. And the reason for that is because I like to control my investment. So what does that mean? That means that I don't want to use someone else's investment company and have them manage my funds. I want to kind of be in control. And the best sites out there right now are the ones that allow you to create your own brokerage account. So let's say, for example, you're interested in stock investing or ETF investing or something like that. Well, the cool thing is that platforms like eToro and and a few others, they actually allow you to have your own brokerage account and control, in other words, to buy and sell your own assets. Versus something like Sarwa, which is a managed firm here in the UAE, that's something that doesn't give you control. You can't decide what you want to buy and sell. They do it for you. And if they make a bad decision, you're going to lose money. And so I've done this actually within my own home country, South Africa, for since 2013 or 2014. I've been an investor since then, and I have lost I have lost money using very reputable banking institutions, doing the same thing, money every single month, compounding over time, but in the end, after all this time, I've actually lost money. And so my new strategy is just to try and control my own investment. So if I were you and I was just starting out, I would look at trying to get a brokerage account that allows me to buy stocks and ETFs if you want to buy those kinds of assets. I love eToro, it's very simple, but there are a few problems with it. So interactive brokers is another really, really good one. And that's something that I use for stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, that sort of thing, commodities as well. And then for cryptocurrency, if I want to just buy the cryptocurrency, in other words, I don't want to just hold it on an exchange. I just want something to buy it and then I want to transfer it to any exchange. I would use something called BitOasis. They're a little bit expensive, but that is the main local one here in the UAE. You can basically pay with dirhams, and if you want to cash out, you can get paid in dirhams. It's called BitOasis. I might have a link to it in the description below. And yeah, so that's what I would do. Personally, right now, I'm using Binance. I'll show you here in case you're interested. So this is what I personally use. Again, I'll have a link to this in the description. I love this platform. It's also the biggest one in the world in terms of volume and in terms of the number of assets that they hold. So this is a platform that is known as a centralized exchange, and effectively they are an organization, they're a company that allows you to buy and sell crypto. Okay, so that's a centralized exchange. I love this platform, very, very, very popular all around the world. And then other platforms like Fishswap or like PancakeSwap allows you to do exactly the same thing that you can do on something like Binance, but in a decentralized way. So in other words, you don't need to go through any verification processes. I'll have a link to that in another video, so you can check out how that works. All right, cool. That was a really long answer. I apologize. I apologize. All right, let's see if we have any other questions. So, Dark Wolf, sorry, Dark Wolf. Dark Wolf says, I was just looking through Twitch and I found your channel. So, what's up, man? Hey, I appreciate that. This is actually my second ever Twitch stream, I think. I haven't used Twitch in years. It's crazy. I used to be a gamer, but these days I'm an entrepreneur and I'm an investor, so I haven't actually used Twitch for a long time. I thought let's reach out to the community. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. All right, so Khalifa over on YouTube, say something in Arabic. Khalifa, I don't understand, man. Mafi Arabia. Okay, let's see here. Azar says how to cash out fish tokens in real money. Okay, that's a really, really, really cool question. Really important as well. I do have a video that shows you exactly how to do so. So if you head over to my channel here and you click over to the channel, the video section shows you what is impermanent loss and how to cash out from a yield farm. So this particular video, I'll probably also put a link to that in the chat or in the description. Actually, let me put it in the chat right now in case you want to access it right now. All right, so in case you want to know how to do that, this video will show you step by step how to take your fish and convert it into something like Tether or BUSD. And then from there, you'll take it into your wallet and use an exchange like Binance or BitOasis to get it into your bank account. Personally, I like to hold all my coins in BUSD. I'm trying to move away from Tether now. All right, so I think those are all the questions that we have for now. And so I am basically going to tell you about a really cool thing that I'm excited about. So Bluebrain is actually my business. And in case you're interested in actually starting your own business online, completely online, you don't want to have to stress about getting a job, or maybe you had a job but you lost your job and you want to learn how to create your own business online, selling online courses, you can check out our free workshop, totally free, where you can learn how to go from zero to sales in 60 days. This is sort of like our bread and butter here. Bluebrain is what we do. We kind of empower and teach people how to create educational content online that can become real businesses. All right, so guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining me on this crazy journey. It's going to be a wild ride over the next 300 days. I could succeed or I could fail, and I just want to thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I'm going to do my best to be as consistent as possible. So we streamed today at 6 p.m. UAE time, which is around GMT plus 4. So I'm going to try and do that every single day, okay? So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in tomorrow's stream. Take care.